Hi friends, it's Walter. I'm up in Joseph's workshop. It's Wednesday, April the 7th, 2021. I just want to share a few thoughts with you today. I recently finished a book. The title of the book is Adrift, 76 Days Lost at Sea, written by Stephen Callahan. In that book, Callahan recounts what happened to him when he was on a solo journey in his sailboat, and his sailboat took a hit from something. He doesn't know what actually happened, but he woke up. Water was coming in very rapidly. His boat was about to sink, and he just had enough time to get the life raft off, a few emergency supplies, and then get into the raft, and then he was drifting in the Atlantic Ocean. This was before all of the satellite technology that we have now, before GPSs. He did have a map. He was able to kind of calculate where he was, maybe the speed he was going, and hopefully he was going toward land, but he knew it would take him a long time to get there. He wasn't in a place where there were a lot of ships going by. Didn't have a whole lot of hope that that would save him. He ran into sharks. He ran into all kinds of difficulties, and it's really an amazing survival story. One of the things that Callahan was able to do through lots of hard work, lots of ingenuity, he was able to get just enough food and just enough water for him to be able to survive. Survive for 76 days drifting on the Atlantic Ocean. Over that time, he lost 44 pounds, and as you might guess, he became obsessed with food. He became obsessed with water. But he was able to meet those dietary needs just barely. But the one thing that he wasn't able to do, the one hole in his diet that he wasn't able to fill, was the need for companionship, the need for fellowship, the need for human interaction. So he had vivid dreams about food, he had vivid dreams about water, but he also had vivid dreams about conversations, vivid dreams about being able to interact with other people. And he just wasn't able to do that for 76 days drifting on the ocean. At one point, he got where he could tell that he was getting close to land. The birds that he saw let him know that he was getting close to land. The different kinds of fish that he was seeing let him know he was getting close to land. And so one of the things that he started to doing, as long as his weak legs would allow, he would stand up in the raft and he would peer intently to the west, looking for land, hoping for land, dreaming of land. And this went on for a number of days, and finally he spied land. It didn't look like the most hospitable place to land, but he was hopeful that it would be an island that was occupied, an island with some people in it. And so as he got closer and closer, finally he heard a noise, and some people on a fishing boat had actually seen him, and they came to him and rescued him and took him to land. So they quickly transported him to a hospital. He was weak, he was tired, he was hungry, he was thirsty, but he really wasn't all that sick. And what do you think that he wanted to do? Well, all he wanted to do was eat and be around people. Eat and be around people. And the people he was around were astonished at the amount of food that he consumed after being adrift for 76 days on the ocean. Well, why do I tell you about that book? Well, I tell you about that book because as I was reading it, it kind of made me think about what we've been going through for the last year. We've kind of been adrift on the ocean. So many of the things that we counted on to give us spiritual food and spiritual drink, those things have been taken away. And we've done what we can. We've done just enough to keep us alive, to keep us surviving. We haven't had big feasts. We've had more small bites. A lot of those have been provided this way through YouTube and Facebook. We've done Zoom classes and meetings. We've done a number of things. We've opened up some activities, but very few activities. And so if you're like me, you're having these, maybe not dreams, but these vivid ideas about what's to come, the things that we'll be able to enjoy, the spiritual feast that's to come, and also the fellowship that is to come. And we're starting to see signs of that, aren't we? The numbers are going down, the restrictions are being eased up, the number of vaccinations continues to increase. And so we are kind of standing up in our raft right now, looking to the horizon, and we can see land. Land is approaching. We don't know exactly when we're going to be firmly on that land and everything's going to be open. We're going to be able to do everything we want to do, but it's on its way. And one of the concerns that we have about this is that once we get to that point, we get to that point where we're going to be able to do the things that we want to do, to have these spiritual feasts that we're looking forward to, is we have a concern that some of us might choose to stay in the raft and eat just enough and drink just enough to just barely survive, instead of participating in the feast that we all need. Because we all need that fellowship. That's the hole in our diet that we haven't been able to fill throughout this past year. And it's a hole in our diet that we look forward to filling with great feasts to come. So I just want to give you a word of encouragement this evening, is continue to look for the land. It's there, it's coming, the day is coming. We're going to have more meals in the days to come, but the great feast is down the road, but it will be here. And when that day gets here, when we're all able to be together, when we're all able to worship together and feast on spiritual food and feast on fellowship with each other, let's not stay in the raft. Let's get up even if our legs are weak. Let's walk into the church building. Let's walk into the gym. Let's walk into the fellowship hall. Let's walk into our small groups, and let's once more feast together and gain those 44 pounds back. Look forward to that day. Look forward to seeing you all soon. I love you very much. Good night.